Fans of Sterling's luxury Elite line were left disappointed in 2015 when the range was dropped from the Swift portfolio, but for 2016 it's back, and it's back with a bang. Like its Swift Conqueror twin, the Elite has gone into the same body shell as the Sterling Continental and the Swift Elegance, and it's a mighty good looking thing. Improved in particular on the Sterling by the use of the black A-frame, which gives it quite a racy look, along with those rather sharp decals. It's also packed with equipment. We've got every Alco extra you could want, with ATC, an AKS stabiliser, shock absorbers and secure wheel lock receivers, although the lock itself is an optional extra, though standard on the top spec Continental. There's also heavy duty steadies, a gas barbecue point and an external 230 volt socket. And in this, the 560, a brand new layout. It features the super fashionable central washroom and a rear island bed. Inside there's a very masculine sense of luxury with the Hessian effect wallboard and these rather dark cushions. That said, it doesn't feel dark, largely thanks to the enormous roof light overhead. That's just part of a generous interior spec that also includes highlights such as Swift's command system, which means that you can control various functions of the Caravan remotely via a smartphone app. It's a rather natty piece of kit. What we don't have a lot of in here, however, is storage space. We've got a small overhead locker on each side, one of which contains a stereo and of course this central chest. There's also the space underneath the sofas. The one on this side is dominated, however, by the Aldi wet central heating boiler. That side is pretty good and you can access it from both inside and outside the van, which is great news. At night, this does turn into a double bed. It's not the largest double bed you're ever going to find, but then this is a room that's mainly for guests. If the lounge seemed a little bit on the tight side, well, that's because Swift has done that on purpose in order to fit in as much kitchen space as possible, and it actually works pretty well. On the near side here, we've got a de rigueur tower fridge, which is a pretty good size and sited at a nice level too. Above me, there's an omnivent for taking away those cooking smells, and then in the kitchen itself, we've got two sockets, good to see, a microwave sited at a sensible level, not too high and not directly over the oven, and a rather smart underslung sink. That's beneath this rather natty Phoenix worktop, finished in charcoal, so it's ultra modern, with a backlit splashback too. Beneath that you've got a proper domestic style drawer, which is pretty good, and then there's two cupboards flanking the microwave. Making a central washroom work well in a single axle caravan isn't easy, but actually Swift designers have done really well here. Certainly it's all here. We've got plenty of space around the loo, and it's got a nice frosted window behind, plus a bathroom cabinet above. In the centre, we've got a vanity unit with sink and another cabinet. Over on the near side wall, there's a radiator for the Aldi central heating, with a useful towel hook above, and a little shelf. And then of course to my right, a proper moulded circular shower cubicle. There is some wheel arch intrusion in the bottom, but it's still pretty roomy, although I would like to have seen a soap dish or somewhere to put your shower gel. But for many, the key appeal of this central washroom is the fact that it has two entrance doors into the bedroom, which means that if you need to use the loo in the night, you can come through without disturbing your partner. At just 6 foot from end to end, this bed is a little bit on the short side for me, and that's a shame because otherwise I really like this bedroom. We've got a window on each side. Ahead of me, there's a fantastic TV point, nice and high, with all the relevant sockets. And of course I've got a little shelf for my cups of tea and a reading light on each side. And while we might have complained a bit about the lack of storage in the lounge, back here there's just masses of it. There's a wardrobe on either side with a natty mirrored door and inside an automatic light. There's more storage beneath and a couple of overhead lockers. And what am I sitting on? Well, apart from a mattress, a massive storage space. And under here is also where you'll find the spare wheel. One word of warning, however, if you're going to load the van with plenty of gear, be very careful about where you put it. If you load the whole back wall here and the space under the bed, then much of the weight is going to be at the back of the van, which could set up a bit of a sway on the motorway. Just like its Conqueror twin, the Elite 560's appeal is twofold. It offers a weight saving over the Continental, and it offers a cost saving over the Continental. That said, at around £25,500 and 1,671 kilos laden, it's still a pretty expensive and pretty heavy van. But if those numbers don't faze you, then the Elite also offers something else, and that's a completely different take on the traditional timber effect and floral fabrics caravan interior. And for many, that makes it a price worth paying.